I am God. I am not French. The reason I thought I should make this video is because, well, my last video was I am home. And I explained that I am not a house, I am simply in the house. Now, an interesting thing about the French language is that home, yes, it's spelled H-O-M-M-E. It's like home, except there's two M's instead of one M. Okay? It means man. Okay? Let's talk about some other French words. I did learn a little bit of French when I was at school. You see, it was mandatory. I even did a French exchange with some whore called Amélie. Yes, I did. Yes, she visited my house. This was a long time ago when I used to live in London. And I went to her house in France, wherever the hell that was. I don't remember. Probably somewhere near Paris. But anyway. Yeah. Let's talk about some French words, shall we? The ones I can remember a few, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, what's the, how do you say I am in French? Yeah, it's je suis. J-E-S-U-I-S. Now, if you put that next to the word Jesus, the name Jesus, you might notice that there's a lot of similarity between je suis and Jesus. You notice there's really not a lot of difference. There's really not a lot of difference there. Now, what else can we talk about? Well, yeah. So how does the numbering in French go? It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. I can't remember. But interesting numbers, right? Because 4 is 4, right? It's 4 or something like that. How's it spelled? I think it's maybe like Q-U-A-T-T-R-E or something. I don't know what the fuck. But it sounds like cat. It sounds like cats. And A is wheat. Wheat? What's wheat? Does anyone know what wheat is? Oh, isn't that what you put in bread? Oh, right, yeah. You know, Jesus said, I am the bread of life. So if bread is made from wheat, then is it made from 8? And, you know, if you've eaten, well, that's the thing, right? What you ate, you know, what is 8, right? It's gone through your mouth, it's in your stomach, or it's anywhere past that stage. It's anything that you've consumed and that is either in your body or has exited your body as a pile of shite. So, you know, it's an interesting type of magic, really, trying to basically say a loaf of bread is a pile of shite, and then you eat it. Yeah, wheat. Anyway, there you go. Some interesting magic. And, you know, I noticed this from another person's video. Okay, so there's this YouTube channel called The Draconic Priestess. And one of her videos, she put an image of her black cat on the thumbnail of the video. And I think the video title was something like this. It was, they can't control the narrative because you are the narrative. Now, it's an interesting thing that, isn't it? Because in French, un chat is spelled C-H-A-T, right? It's spelt like chat. Like I'm having a chat with you right now. It's a one-way chat. I'm talking, you're listening, right? Chat, right? You notice that cat is in the word chat, right? In English, it's just, you know, chat and cat, yeah? It's fascinating, that, isn't it? Yeah. But you also know what it means, if I said, oh, I shat myself, like I pooed in my pants. Yeah, I shat myself. Yeah. Oh, is it a cat that fell out of my arse, is it? Is that what we're talking about here? Pardon, monsieur? Non. Non. Tu es un pide. Do you know what that means? I think it means you're a wanker. I think that's what it means. Tu es un pide. Anyway, so yeah. See, the Draconic Priestess, when she put the thumbnail of her cat on the video, on her video, that's a very witchy thing of her to do. She's basically trying to say that, that conversation, the narrative, people chatting, it's all about the cat because it's chat, right? It's on chat. Yeah, well, actually, it's actually people talking shit. That's all people do is talk shit all the time. On chat. Yeah, the past tense of shit. Yeah, that's where the shit comes out. It comes out the back in the past. It's what's behind, right? Shat. You understand? Yeah. Gary. What's a Gary? Huh? What's the Gary? Well, what's a train? And what's rail, right? Because you talk about Israel. Yeah, Israel? You've heard of Israel, right? It's kind of an important name, isn't it? Israel. And then you got railways and train stations. And in France, they call, it's Gare. It's spelled Gare. Or you could just call it Gary, right? Oh, Gary, you're Israel, are you? I had a boss called Gary. What an arsehole. Corrupt. Yeah, totally corrupt, that guy. That's why I didn't like him. I had to work for a guy who was practically a criminal. Yeah. I got paid way too much money. I mean, I had my suspicion. I knew he was up to no good. I always sensed that he was a real dodgy guy. And he was. He is a dodgy guy. Let's not forget about, Gary Glitter. Oh, yeah. Israel. That's what the world is. That's what poo-poo brains want, though. They want pedophile. That's what they want. That's what the poo-poo brains of the world, that's what they want. Yeah, they want a pedophile god to worship. Because they're sick in their head. Because that's the thing, right? Because man's like, oh, but I want this and I want that. So evil demons come to me and just give me what I want, and I'll give you what you want, right? So it's basically, it's playing the game of, right, let the pedophiles win, and then I can get what I want. So I can just, I can worship false idols, and, I could be a star on YouTube or whatever it is, right? I could be a movie star or a musician, and people will worship me, and I can worship, and I can have lots of sex and lots of drugs and party like, like there's no tomorrow. Type, that type of mentality. Basically just sell your soul to the devil. And then who's, in that case, you're basically pedophile, evil spirits. Basically like, yeah, we'll help you out. What do you want? Yeah? Yeah, that's why the world's full of poo-poo brains. Shit for brains. Idiots. Yeah. That's the problem with this world. People are so selfish and greedy that they will try to acquire what they want at the expense of... Yeah, exactly. I mean, whole world just falls apart. While people are like, I'm going to be first. I want to be first. I want to be rich. I want to be famous. If terrible, horrible things are happening, they ignore it. They're like, no, it doesn't need to concern me. I'm getting what I want. I'm happy. Yeah? I might eat French fries, but I ain't French. I mean, technically, well, my surname, Salvin. My full name is Grant Salvin. I'm on Facebook. Yeah, you can find my profile there. I have 0 friends, 0 followers, and about probably at least 50,000 posts on Facebook. That's a lot. Yeah. Well, why? Because I'm trying to get a world to pay attention to me that doesn't want to pay attention to me. They look like a bunch of crazy clowns. And that's what I do. I make them, I try to reveal how crazy the world is. And demons hate me for it. So, yeah. Right, what was I going to say? I totally forgot now. Yeah. Yeah, I might eat French fries, but I ain't French. But my surname, Salvin, it apparently came across with some guy. It was during the Norman Conquest. It was a Norman. It came across with the Normans. And it came over with, there was a guy called Josias Le Flamand, which means something like Jesus the Flemish. And his descendants opened monasteries, and they took the name Salvin. And that's how I got the name. Yeah. My biological parents were Scottish people. That's where they were living when I was conceived, I think. And then shortly after that, I lived in England. And I've lived in England basically my entire life. I was born in Scotland, I was born in Aberdeen, and I've lived in England the rest of the time. So, apparently there's more money in England. Well, London, Bristol, yeah, something like that. Whatever, who gives a shit. But anyways, just a quick video just to mention I'm not French, and the French language can go fuck itself, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I mean, is it any wonder I've got an ass like a pussy? Why, what? How did that happen, huh? How the fuck did that happen? Oh, I'm the word, right? And I shat, cat. Alright, so that's how it happened. Alright, I see. Yeah. Well, that's one of the ways it's happened. Perhaps that's a bit too complex for you to understand. Or maybe it is. Well, tough shit then, I guess. Huh? So easy not being God, isn't it? But for me, no, I have to just sift through all the garbage, all the insanity, bit by bit. Yeah, I've just got to just sift through it all. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm being a bit Flemish. Yeah. And this is the other thing, right? Because I've got lots of these. Well, what do you call it? You wouldn't call it perfume. You call it eau de toilette, which is basically it's toilet water, right? I mean, that's basically what it translates to, isn't it? I mean, I've got a whole bunch of them. I've got Paco Rabanne, I've got Giorgio Armani, I've got Hugo. I've got Jaguar eau de toilettes. I've got Diesel. I've got Calvin Klein. I've got Tommy Hilfiger. And these are all eau de toilettes. Which basically, eau, which is spelled like E-A-U, means water. And that's the thing, right? Eau, right? Well, that's the thing, that's a really tricky word, that. Because in French, eau, which is spelled E-A-U. Let me just double check, okay? Just in case I'm getting it wrong. So E-A-U, de toilette. Yeah. It's spelled E-A-U, right? And it's pronounced O. O. Eau de toilette. Okay? And that's fascinating, that. Because, I'm just, I'm only now realizing this. What does it mean to owe somebody? Yeah, let's say you're indebted to someone. Let's say you own someone £10 billion as an example. Okay? Let's say you owe God £10 billion. Okay? You owe him. But owe means water. Now, what's Jesus called? Jesus called the fountain of living waters. Right? And people keep trying to steal from me. Right? They keep trying to steal from me. They keep sinning against me. They owe me big time. Oh, water. That's them stealing water for themselves. Right? And, I've explained in so many of my videos. People keep doing poo magic against me and piss magic. It's basically toilet magic. Right? Because, well, what comes out of my hole? Shit, right? Is what I ate. In French, that's wheat. Yeah? So you want to be wheat, D? You want to be what's ate. You want to be the shit that comes out of my ass, because that's what I ate. It's wheat. Right? You want to be wheat instead of tares, right? That's what it is, right? You want to be wheat instead of tares. Right? Because you don't want to be burned up with the tares. Obviously. You want to be gathered into the barn, don't you? With God. That's where you want to go, right? You want to be wheat. Blah-de, blah-de, blah. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? Yeah, the French language. I never liked learning French when I was a kid. I always hated learning French. I was quite good at Latin for a while. And but I got bored of it when I went to boarding school. Yeah. Yeah, I did very well in my common entrance exam to get to my boarding school. That was when I was like 13, I think. And then I took up Spanish at boarding school. I enjoyed learning Spanish more than any other language that I ever learned. So, but I don't use it. I don't go on holiday to places. I don't talk to anyone in Spanish. So, I talk English. I speak English. Yeah? So, eau de toilette. And that's the other thing, right? Because, you know, O, well, that's the thing. The arsehole is shaped like an O, right? It's a circle. And D is another way of saying dick, right? So it's saying arsehole, dick, toilet. Or toilet water. Water of toilet. Or perfume. Whichever you prefer. Yeah? Oh, look, a bill came through the door. Oh, isn't that right? Isn't that what people say? They say, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. So O means water. So you're basically just saying, water my God. Water my God. Water my God. Or what is it you're saying? You know, because O can mean so many things, right? Like, like, you know, I could say, none, you know, my life is none of your business, as an example, right? Well, nun, you know, could be like a Catholic nun, right? Which is spelled N-U-N. You know, she's some crazy cunt wearing a cape like she's Batman. You know what I mean? Like, or, you know, none can mean zero. Yeah? You know what zero looks like? It means none, right? If I say I have no friends, I have 0 friends, I have none, right? How many friends do I have? None. So if I say none of your business, right? Well, that's the thing. I've got an arsehole. It looks like a circle, right? There's like a number 0. And inside of it is where my business is, right? You know, what's business, right? Shit. Well, business is a way of saying shit, isn't it? So if I say none of your business, you think, oh wow, so God has an arsehole and he's got business in there. So let's have a little poke around, shall we? Let's have a look inside there. Yeah, let's have shit, you know, poo-poo brains. Bunch of fucking poo-poo brains. That's the world. Yeah? Pardon my French. S'il vous plaît. Dirty French. I don't like the French very much. I'm sure there's some nice French people, but generally speaking, I'm not a fan of the French. Okay? In fact, I'm not really a fan of anybody. I can't think of anyone I'm a fan of. Really. I'm hardly even a fan of myself. And I'm good. I don't even like myself. Yeah. I just do what I have to do. And that's it. I don't really have much of a choice. Really. I mean, I'm kind of forced into doing this because, I mean, I could go try doing something else, but what am I left with? You know, what do I have to deal with? You know, I keep confronting the same problems with people. Therefore, I have to try to resolve these things by talking about it. You know, chatting about it, yeah? Yeah? Talking some shit. Un chat. I mean, that's connected with Jesus as well, because, you know, Jesus, he was called the Lion of the tribe of Judah. What's a lion? A big cat. Yeah, a big shat. Yeah? What's my past is what comes out of my, you know, well, that's the thing. Magically, my ass is connected with my cursed. You know, Sodom, Egypt, right, are connected with the crucifix. That's connected with sodomy and bondage, right? This is why people keep practicing sex magic. And I keep warning them. Because if they keep doing it, they're going to be dead. They're going to hell. That's all there is for them. I mean, I'm not fucking... I'm tired, you know, I'm finished with this. I'm not warning people anymore. I'm not here to forgive people. I'm here to judge people. Not for people to judge me, for me to judge people who are evil. And I've been sat here, you know, I'm 38 years old now, and I've watched the world mock me constantly. And it's the last several years I've really, really noticed it. That's how I learned who I am. The world reflects me. Because I'm the light. I'm the light. And people want to pretend that they're the light. The only way that they can try to pretend they're the light is reflecting me. I mean, sure, someone could hold a torch up, right? Someone could hold a torch up and be like, you know, I've got a light in my hand, right? Or they could have a lighter and be like, oh, look at me, I'm the light of the world, right? But that's not the type of light I'm talking about. My light is very unique. My light shines like nothing else, right? You know, the sun in the sky, I'm more like that. That's the type of light that I have. It's the type of light that people are very, very drawn to. Yet people mock me, they mirror me, they talk shit about me, they lie, they twist things. They use all kinds of word magic and witchcraft and sorcery to try to steal what is mine. I mean, even look at the word sorcery. Who's source? God is source. So who's re? Oh, that's right. Mary. Well, that's the thing, right? Because I'm God. When I was Jesus, it was a woman called Mary who carried me as a baby. And I was delivered out of her vagina. Right? Sorcery. Because you know what ma means, don't you? Right? Mother. You know, it's like with the three magi, right? You know, they were called the three wise kings, right? Ma, Guy, C. C is the third letter of the alphabet. There were three magi. Magi C. Or magic. Magic. It's all word magic. I've explained that plenty of times. So, and that's the other thing, right? Because my biological mum, Fiona, who died in 2021, she's dead now. This was her house. It's now my house. Or it's where I live. I live in this house now, right? I'm the only one who lives here. My mum's mum, so my grandmother on my mum's side, had a brother called Frank Goddard. That was his name, Frank Goddard. Well, Frank, you know, obviously is connected with the word, with France, right? How do you spell France? Well, you could pronounce France as Frank, right? Who's Frank? Am I not Frank? Am I not frank enough for you? Am I being frank? You want to see my Frankfurter? Yeah? So, I mean, obviously I couldn't show you my Frankfurter on this Yeah, I probably wouldn't. Yeah. Wouldn't be a wise move, would it? Really? No, it wouldn't be. So I think I'll do a quick tarot reading. I'll see if any interesting cards come out. So yeah. Excusez-moi. I say that quite a lot. Doesn't mean I'm French though. So, cards. Tarot cards. I'm sure I've got a few French tarot decks around here, but I don't normally use them. Marseille Tarot, I've got a deck of that, but I'm not really that fond of it. Alright, we've got the Six of Pentacles, so that basically means share. It's giving and receiving, something like that, yeah. Six of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, the Moon. Well, I did mention about the French exchange that I had, right? You know, that's like giving and receiving, you know, you could call it exchange, right? Or something like that. I did that French exchange with a girl called Amelie. You know, it's that name is spelled Amelie. You know, it's a very interesting name, isn't it? Because am, you know, like as in I am, L means God, El means God. It's a way of saying God. And obviously lie comes right after it. So lie. And that's, you know, technically, well, what did she do? She came to the house that I used to live at, and she got to sleep in my bed while I slept I slept downstairs in the lounge. So technically, she did sleep in God's bed for probably about, I don't know, 5 days or maybe a week or something like that. However long the trip was, I don't remember. But technically, yes, that's true. She did get to sleep. She got to lie down in God's bed. Amelie. Fascinating name, huh? Yeah. So, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, you know, making a stand against the moon. You know, that's the reflector of the light. You see, I am the light of the world. The moon isn't, right? The moon, all it does is be a rock in the sky. A giant white rock, white grey rock that reflects. It's like a giant mirror, right? It reflects light from the sun. So you get a bit of sunlight at night time. Yeah? So I think that's yeah, that'll do. I don't need any more cards for that. What's the word for son or boy? boy is, I think, boy is garçon. It's spelled, I think, Garcon. Well, I already told you what gar means, or Gary. Gar means railway. It means train station or railway station. You know, Israel. You know, it's that's the thing about railway stations, right? You know, Israel. People really don't know the difference between what Israel is and railways. They think being on a railway, you know, it's used as a magic thing, right? So people who like to travel by rail, you know, evil lying spirits are like, oh yeah, you're Israel. Oh, look at you, aren't you? Aren't you fucking special? You're from Israel then, are you? You're God's chosen people. Look at you get on that train and get off it. Aren't you fucking special? It's all about word magic. Anyway, anyways, yeah, I don't yeah, my knowledge of the French language is not very good. I'm not very good at French. I mean, the thing that I should probably mention is obviously French kissing, right? Obviously, in the past, right? You know, when I've had girlfriends years and years and years ago, it's been a very, very long time. French kissing was what I did with them, right? That's what people call French kissing with tongues. They call that French kissing. And then evil lying spirits want to say that I'm French. I'm not French. You know, I've got ID. It says I'm born in Scotland. I'm British. Not French. So, yeah. I mean, that's the thing as well, right? Because the city of Paris, well, Paris, what does pa mean? P-A, it's a way of saying dad. And dad is a way of saying father, isn't it? People use these words interchangeably. So, you know, Paris is like saying Paris. R-I-S. Okay, I've already talked about Mary. Marie. Paris. Okay, it's a magic thing. And obviously there they've got what they got. They've got the Eiffel Tower. That's right, the Eiffel Tower. I've been to the Eiffel Tower at least one time, if not twice. remember I got a massive hot dog there, a massive Frank. You know, it was like a I don't know. It was at least a foot long, if not longer. Biggest hot dog I ever eaten in my life. I didn't eat a dog, like an animal, a dog. You know, it's made of pork and maybe beef or something like that. You know, had it with some ketchup. Yeah. Yeah, I always remember going around France, and I think it's quite a European thing. But I remember just going around France and just, whenever going into those, shops, they'd be selling postcards, and they just have all the naked women. They'd have all these porn postcards. People having sex, naked people. And selling all sorts of like dirty, gimmicky toys and stuff like that. Like pens with naked women on them and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a filthy country, really. I mean, yeah. France. Yeah, I'm not French. I know a lot of migrants, they come across from France. Yeah, they do, don't they? Lots of migrants coming across in their dinghies. Yeah, that's not me. I'm not a migrant. I'm Grant. There's a difference. First of all, I'm white. I'm from this country. I'm British. Right? I didn't come from Africa. I didn't come from the Middle East. I didn't walk across Europe and get on a dinghy to come across to England and pretend that I'm Grant. I am Grant. I'm God. And I'm not French.